Hello, my name is Amanda Nagler, and today I am going to do a demonstration of how to make a very simple vegetable soup. You'll have to please excuse my 2-year-old in the background. I do not have anyone to take care of him for me to take care of this right now. So it might be a little stop more often than we would like to. We'll see how he does. So I like to make soup because it is a stress reliever for me. I'm a little bit of a control freak, and soup is something that you can control, but it also ends up taking on whatever you put in it, so it can become something completely unexpected as well. And it's just something that really calms me down when I'm stressed, and I enjoyed making soup from scratch. So in the next segment, I will start with step 1. Oh, sorry, didn't know we were going again. Okay, so first things first, you want to have your mise en place in place, which basically just means that you have everything you're going to need in front of you. So we've got our vegetables, which today we are using some squash, zucchini, baby carrots. There's a couple of cherry tomatoes in here. Um, Basically, I use whatever I have in my house at the time, and this is what I've got today. You can use any variation of vegetables that you like, that you know taste well together, or experiment. Find something new. We're also going to use a little garlic, and I like to use a base in my soup. Today we're going to try this Del Monte zucchini Italian style tomato sauce to help just add an extra tastiness to it. We've got regular salt and pepper, Italian seasoning. We've got our vegetable bouillon. And then we've also got seasoned salt, which we use on everything in Texas. So you want to make sure that you've got your knife and your cutting board and your measuring cup, as well as a large pot for everything to go into. Wash your vegetables. Make sure your hands are clean. Pick a starting, and there's your mise en place. You're ready to go. And so in the next segment, we will prep, which is step 2. Okay, so to prep, you're going to take all of your vegetables and cut them into quarters. You're welcome to leave them whole if that's what you prefer. Cooking your soup will take a little bit longer, and you will have larger bites, obviously. I like to quarter everything, basically. So this puts your zucchini in about this shape. Just take the zucchini and you cut the ends off, each end. Sorry that did not get the video to record that part, but this is what the ends look like, and you usually just discard those because those little nubs aren't tasty. And then you cut them into this size like this. Just cut the whole zucchini in half and then flip them over now and slice them so that you've got these nice little pieces. And zucchini gets really soft, so they can be a little bit bigger. So again, here's my yellow squash. Same thing with that. Same thing. Little quarters. Now my baby carrots, I like to have a little smaller. I know baby carrots are small to begin with, and most people might like them whole, but just for me, I'd rather have it smaller. And like I said, the larger your vegetables are, the longer it's going to take to cook. And my cherry tomatoes are in here as well, and I just sliced them in half because I really just don't enjoy having a explosion of tomato unless that's what I'm really ready for, and that's not what I'm going for here. So we also need to prep our vegetable stock. So I've got 2 cups of hot water here. I've got my 1 little pat of vegetable bouillon, and I'm just going to break it up into there so that it dissolves a little more evenly. Just take a whisk or a spoon, mix it up good, try and crunch it up. Some people might prefer to make this on the side so that they can make it a little more completely before entering it into the soup. But I like to let my soup simmer a long time, so it will have plenty of chance to break down properly. So in the bottom of the pan, I have added the base, which is, again, the Del Monte Zucchini Italian-style tomato sauce. And I did that because I wanted to make sure I didn't put too much liquid in here. So I've added my base and I've added my vegetables. I put about a cup of regular water in there, and now I'm about to put the 2 cups of vegetable bouillon. And again, if you were to mix it up a little better, you wouldn't have those chunks. But the longer you cook it, the more everything is going to blend together. So now that's all together. I'm done with my knife. I am done with all of this. So I'm going to set it aside and go ahead and get it cleaned up before we move on to the next step. Okay, so now we have all of our raw ingredients and our broth in the pot, and we're going to turn the stove on to an 8 because we want to bring this to a boil. In the meantime, we can add some more of our seasonings. I like to put just a little black pepper, and I am not a world-class chef, so I do everything to taste. A little bit here, a little bit there. That's how my grandma did it. That's how I've always done it, and it always turns out pretty good. So if you need recipes to start, there's no shame in that. It really helps control like salt and things like that. See, I just took salt and just kind of to taste however much I feel it needs. I'm going to put a little bit of seasoned salt in, as ridiculous as that may sound. I really like the extra flavor it adds to just about everything. I've got some minced garlic. This is lazy people's garlic because I do not feel like taking the time to chop up garlic and deal with all of that. We're going to use a toddler spoon. So just 1 good teaspoon of this will probably be enough unless you really like garlic. But that'll be good. Just dump that right in there. Rinse that off. Okay. And I've got my Italian seasoning as well, and this is probably my least favorite because my favorite part of the soup itself is bringing the natural flavors out, and for some reason, I just buy crappy Italian seasoning, I guess, and it just always ends up stuck in my teeth. It's just not my favorite, but it does help bring it all together. So that is everything that I'm going to put in here for now. I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to come back and check on it and decide if I need to burn off some of the liquid or not. So when we're boiling, I will come back and we will move on. So as you can see, we are just about boiling. I'm going to bring this to a full boil and let it boil for maybe just a minute or 2 just to really make sure everything's getting absorbed and broken down. Like I said, that vegetable bouillon needs to be broken down, so a little bit of time boiling and stirring is not going to hurt anything. Once it gets to a boil, you're going to go ahead and turn your heat down to medium, bring it to a simmer. And depending on what kind of liquid you have going on, if you want it more soupy or to keep all of the volume, all the liquid volume, you're going to want to cover it as soon as you start to simmer it. However, if you want some of the water to burn off, hold on baby, 1 minute. If you wanted some of it to burn off, then you would leave it uncovered. Let it boil a little bit longer. And then simmer without a lid for a short period of time, and you will have to eyeball because evaporation, as it boils, your liquid level will decrease. For me, I like to have this soup especially for leftovers. It just ultimately, for me, makes it better. I like soup. So in conclusion, I have shown you how to make a very simple vegetable soup from scratch. You don't need much, just whatever's in your fridge one night, just a little bit of energy and creativity with your spice cabinet. There's no wrong answer. something may taste wrong, but trial and error is half the battle. So I encourage you to take a chance and try making soup the next time you're stressed out, and maybe it will put you in as good a mood as it does for me. Thank you very much.